Hello everyone, it's Dave here. Welcome back to the channel and for another cycling adventure. It's a lovely winter's morning here in Staffordshire and I find myself in the village of Morton, which I hadn't really heard of, to be honest, until I planned this ride. It's kind of in between Newport and Stafford. And the reason that I've chosen this as a starting location today is that around this area there are some lovely off-road bridleways, canal towpaths and various things like that. So even though it's January and it's a bit of a mud bath around here, I'm going to do a bit of a mixture of country lanes and then some off-roading in between. So the route I've planned today starts off in Morton and then it heads along some lovely country lanes until I get to the village of Nosal with a silent G. And then from there the plan is to take on one of the first off-road sections through some lovely woodland, which will eventually come out at Norbury Junction, which is on the Shropshire Union canal. It's a lovely little stop, so I'll get my breath back there. And then a little bit more off-road as we eventually go through Loynton Moss Nature Reserve, which is near Woodseaves, and eventually then the plan is to loop round through the villages of Norbury, Sutton and Forton. Again, a mixture of country lanes and some off-road sections, some of which I'm worried are going to be really muddy. And then we'll cross the A41 and go into the town of Newport, where hopefully I can get a cup of tea. Once we're through Newport, we can pick up the former Newport to Stafford railway line, which is now a greenway, and that'll take us back east, back towards Morton and the finish line. That's the plan. I'm lovely and clean at the moment. I don't know how clean I'll be by the end of the ride, but that's part of the fun. Let's go and do it. Well, I did say in my introduction that it was a bright and sunny winter's morning, but no sooner have I set off that the sun's gone in. But I can't complain because it's dry and it's not too windy, so it's lovely conditions for a bike ride. Morning. Whoa. Oh. Morning. Okay, there was nearly a squashed hair there. Whoa, that made me jump. So as we approach Nosal, here below us, below this bridge, is our first sighting of the Shropshire Union Canal. Right, we need to get down onto the canal towpath, so I'm about to leave this lane and join this track, and this is my first off-road section. I love it when the sign says unsuitable for motor vehicles. Morning.
Morning.
Okay, next off-road section coming up, and this track will lead us all the way down to Norbury Junction. Whoa, he wasn't expecting that, was he? And here we are at Norbury Junction. So I've made it here to Norbury Junction, and I'm going to have a well-deserved rest for a few minutes. This is a really important stop and a wharf on the Shropshire Union canal. And as you can see, lots of boats moored up. Now, why is it called a junction? Because as far as I can see, there's one way that way towards the West Midlands, and there's one way that way towards Liverpool in the northwest. And the reason why it's called a junction, if I turn around, the clue is behind me. Let's go and have a walk up onto the top of this bridge. So behind me on the other side of the bridge here is what appears to be a cul-de-sac with just a few narrow boats moored up. But this is evidence of something much bigger. Norbury Junction is so called because this is where the Newport branch of the canal veered away from the main line of the Shropshire Union. And it was a really important thoroughfare for a long time, until eventually, as with everything else, the railways took over, and this section was officially abandoned in 1944. And it's such a shame, a lot of it has disappeared. There's still some bridges and various stuff remaining, but by and large it's gone. But there's still evidence of it remaining, and we'll see more of that as we continue on the ride. Okay, best laid plans and all that. The little single track I was heading through the nature reserve on is completely flooded, and it's that rank, muddy, horrible water too. And I don't think I'm going to get around this, so change of plan. Luckily for me, next to the little single track section I was going to take through the nature reserve is a bridleway, and this looks a lot more passable. And that was Linton Moss, a lovely little hidden gem of a nature reserve. So quiet and peaceful, I didn't see a soul. And now onwards, back onto some country lanes. as we head through Norbury towards Sutton and then eventually Newport. Let's go. So now I have a dilemma. There's a fork in the road ahead, and to the left is the lovely tarmac country lane which will lead us to Sutton, and on the right is a complete mud bath called Cliffs Lane which also leads to Sutton. Which way should I take? Which will be the most fun? Which am I most likely to fall off on? Oh, in for a penny, in for a pound. This is Cliffs Lane. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god. If I can get my momentum going, it might not be too bad. Morning mate, alright? Just a bit. Alright. Alright. Well, that's just cheating, they've got engines. So here I am halfway along Cliffs Lane. It is a complete mud bath, but I haven't fallen off yet. And I've stopped for a minute to get my breath back on this old humpback bridge. Let me show you something. All that's down there now is a farmer's field, but this here is the line of the Newport branch of the canal that we were talking about earlier. Newport's that way, I'm heading that way through Sutton, and then eventually I'll encounter the canal again on the outskirts of Newport, if I don't fall off along there first. Let's go. Okay, that's Cliffs Lane negotiated. And now at this little crossroads here, we need to take a left into Green Lane, which I think is more of the same. Yep. And this will lead us to the village of Sutton. Oh. Oh. It's actually starting to rain a little bit. I did look at the weather and there was a chance that it might. Well, let's hope it's not much. So we've now passed through the villages of Sutton and Thornton. It's still raining. I can't see anything through my glasses. Look, I need windscreen wipers. And behind me here is the main road, the Newport bypass, the A41, which I'll be crossing in a moment. But I just wanted to stop and show you something first. Once again, I'm on a stone bridge, and it doesn't cross anything again. And this is another example of the line of the Newport branch of the canal, completely gone. But once across the main road and go into town, it's quite different. Come on. Oh, squeaky brakes. So this section of the Newport Canal is being restored to its former glory. We've got water in the canal, we've got a towpath. It's fantastic. The canal really has been beautifully restored here, and it's all down to the excellent work of the Shrewsbury and Newport Canal Trust. I've just passed through Newport High Street and I'm heading out of town now. My original plan was to get a cup of tea at Costa Coffee, but Cliff's Lane has turned me into some kind of mud monster, and I thought it wouldn't be great to sit in Costa covered in mud. So I have a plan B, and here's my plan B, Greg's. Oh, I was kind of hoping that the weather would improve while I was at Greg's, but seems to have got worse if anything, but I'm still enjoying the ride. Rubbish bell, sorry. Cheers. I've now joined the Newport to Stafford Greenway, which is a completely traffic-free route between the two towns, and it's on the track bed of an old railway line. So it's lovely and peaceful down here, even though it's pouring with rain now. But I'm still smiling and I'm still enjoying it. And that's the end of the line. Back to Morton. So that's the end of the ride. We've made it back here in one piece to Morton. It wasn't quite the dry, sunny winter's day I envisaged. It turned into a bit of a drizzly one in the end. Some of those off-road sections especially were brilliant. And I didn't fall off too, which is a bonus. All in all, I think I did about 20 miles in the drizzle. Didn't dampen my spirits. Still, loads of smiles per hour here, which is what it's all about. My name's Dave. I'll see you in the next video. Hope you can join me. See ya.